Hello. Welcome back to the sixth floor, I think, of our Sound House relationship checkup. So this has been part of our series for Valentine's 2021. This is something you can do with your partner and get their opinions, or you can just do it by yourself. It's just a way to check in and evaluate where you think your relationship is. This is based on the Gottman method. This is John and Julie Gottman's institute, and they put all of this together. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, this is the first video you've seen. Go back and watch the other ones before this, because there's only one more after this. So you want to make sure you can start at the beginning. Okay, today is making life dreams happen. So remember back when you were little and you used to dream about what you wanted to be when you grew up? Do you remember? This is kind of like that. Not saying, some of us did become what we wanted to be, some of us did not. But thinking about, like when we were kids, we didn't know that something might not be a possibility, or like reasons why that might not be a good decision. But now as adults and as we get older, we kind of edit our dreams. And that's okay, but we just need to still have dreams. I think a lot of times what happens, we meet someone, we hit it off. And I think a lot of times one of the things that attracts us to someone is that maybe they have similar life goals, or at least maybe the same amount of ambition for life goals. And so I think there's something that we're attracted to in that. And then we get married, and then maybe we have kids, and time goes by, and we quit talking about our life dreams because we're trying to keep maybe little people, little humans alive, or animals alive, or we're just trying to continue to like our spouse. So the reason this floor is pretty high up in the house is because this isn't something that people are usually coming to counseling for, right? Like the other floors, absolutely. I see it all day, every day. This is one of those things that it can just help, this and the next one, just help amplify the relationship, right? Like it's kind of like just taking it to that next level. So making life dreams happen is really just kind of keeping your eye on the prize. Remember that saying? Do you even know what your partner's life dreams are? Maybe it's to retire on a huge piece of land in the middle of nowhere. Maybe it's to own, I don't know, a head of cattle or goats, or maybe they want to start their own private practice. Maybe it's to be CEO of the company, or the kind of company they work for. Maybe it's to retire at 50. Whatever it is, do you know what your partner's goals are? Life dreams. Do you know what yours are? Do you remember? Have you quit dreaming? So I ask you that because I think it's important. We cannot let go of those goals and dreams. I hope you would agree with me that because what are you striving for? What are you working so hard for every day if it's not to get you somewhere, right? So part of this floor is making sure that you are still in tune. Maybe your goals and your dreams changed. Perfect. Not a big deal. Have you shared that with your partner? Maybe their goals and dreams have changed. Have you asked? What if they don't want to retire on a bunch of land anymore because they realize that the maintenance of that might be more than they want to take on because they just want to be retired? And that's okay, but it kind of it goes to show how much you're communicating with each other and what about. If you're just talking about the daily, mundane, everyday stuff, you're not going to get to the top of the house. Does that make sense? So this one isn't a hard floor. I just want you to check in with, do you know your own goals and dreams, and do you know your partner's? And if not, take some time to think about them for yourself, write them out, and then ask your partner. Now, I heard on a podcast a couple of days ago that humans just have a hard time viewing things past 10 years, like for 10-year goals. I totally get that. I really struggle with the idea of like thinking about where I'll be in 10 years. I do good with maybe 3 or 5 years. 10 years seems impossible. Like when people do that, like, oh, your kids will be 20 and 18. Nope. Let's not talk about that. So I agree that can be a challenge, but I think we still do have the capability to just dream. Like maybe not even setting a specific goal, because maybe we don't know exactly what it's going to look like 10 years from now. But you can still have that goal of like retirement, or where, or like what kind of house you want, or maybe it's a dream car, right? That's why they call it a dream car. So think about those things. I want you to take the time, write them down if you have maybe forgotten. Even if you don't know all the details, write down what you do think about. Like, so for me, like I would love to get back to Texas, mostly because that's where my family is. I'm an only child. I will be the only person to take care of my parents when they get older. So that is honestly a big part of it. But I don't really care where. Well, I do care where in Texas I live, but I'm not like nailed down to a city. So does that make sense? Like I have a goal to get back to Texas, but the details of it are open. I'm kind of open to see what happens. But that doesn't mean I don't still have a dream and a goal. So I hope that makes sense. Like you don't have to have every detail written down, but to just think about, if you don't know where you're going, you're not going to know how to get there. So take time this week while you're doing this challenge and just check in with yourself. Do I know what my spouse's goals are? Have they changed? Maybe we should just check in, okay? Sounds like a great date night topic. All right, guys, there's only one floor left. It's creating shared meaning. And so we'll do that. And then that will be the end of our videos. And that will be the end of our checkup. All right, we'll see you then.